OK， 我们继续来看键17 Test4 的 Part 1啊，一个词。OK， 我们先一起来预读一下啊。他说是一个 cleaning service 啊，就是这个打扫服务啊。我们来看第一题，说可以打扫什么东西啊？这个整个公寓的什么东西啊？然后是每周啊、每个月啊、每周可以清理什么东西？啊，这边有一个这个 ironing clothes 啊 ，iron 这个词本身有铁的意思，对吧？那它还有另外一个意思，是这个熨衣服的意思啊。这边 ironing 啊，这个 ironing clothes 啊，就是说这个熨衣服啊，熨烫衣服。我们看什么 only 啊，它有什么条件啊 ？OK， 然后继续往下看 clean all 的什么 from the inside 啊，从里面打扫什么东西啊 ，washing down 什么东西啊。然后这边其他说的是直接考一个并列吧啊。Plumber 你不认识没有关系啊，我们来看和它并列的是什么东西啊，如果有需要的话。然后最后这边说的是对什么过敏啊，对什么过敏怎么样啊，我们等会儿去听过敏的事儿啊。然后说这边这个 cleaner 啊，这些打扫卫生的人啊，如果他们被雇佣之后，他们都要做这个 background check 啊，由谁 carry out by 啊，由谁来做 background check 啊。然后最后这边说，所有的这个 cleaning 啊，都会给2周的什么东 cleaners 啊，都会给2周的什么东西啊？你就说可以预判一下，可能是保险啊、培训啊等等的这样的东西啊。然后最后一个看说这个顾客需要send 什么 after each visit 啊，就是每次服务之后会发送什么东西。OK， 我们就预读完了啊。这边发现很多东西就是 cleaning。washing 啊，都是打扫什么东西，对吧？那可能是打扫桌子啊、窗户啊、什么扫地啊等等的各种各样的东西，对吧？我们到时候就来听啊，具体是什么东西，大家一定紧紧的跟着定位。OK， 那我们一起来听一下这一篇啊。
Easy Life Cleaning Services, Jacinta speaking.
Oh, hello. I'm looking for a cleaning service for my apartment. Do you do domestic cleaning?
Sure.
Well, it's just a one-bedroom flat.Do you have a basic cleaning package?
Yes. For a one-bedroom flat, we're probably looking at about 2 hours for a clean. So we do a thorough clean of all surfaces in each room.
All surfaces 定位到了吧？继续往下听啊，打扫什么每个房间的什么东西
And polish them where necessary. Does your apartment have carpets?
OK, carpets 啊，这边先听到一个 carpets。OK， 你的房间有 carpets 吗？我们来听一下男生怎么回答的啊。
No, I don't have.
No, I don't have it. 啊，否定掉了吧 ？No， 所以这不能填啊，这些干扰项。我们继续往下听。
Any, but the floor would need cleaning.
啊 ，floor， 说了一个 floor 吧？大家听好单复数啊，他说的是 floor 单数。我们继续往下听。
Of course, we do.
Of course， 肯定了吧？可以啊。
That in every room.
We did that in every room 啊。Throughout the apartment 是不是 in every room 啊 ？In every room 啊，每个房间。OK， 对应了之后啊，这边 floor 它肯定回答 OK， 继续往下听。
And we do a thorough clean of the kitchen and bathroom.
OK， chicken and 这个 kitchen and bathroom 啊，什么 shower 之类不就是在 bathroom 里面吗 ？toilet 啊 ，bathroom 里面。我们继续往下听。
Okay.
Then we have some additional services.
Additional services 啊，除了 basic 之外，还有 additional。
Which you can request if you want. So, for example, we can clean your oven for you every week.
Your oven 啊，我们可以打扫你的 oven 烤箱，对吧 ？Your oven for every week。我们听一下男生怎么说。
Actually, I hardly ever use that.
Actually, I hardly ever use that. Hardly， 咱们这个否定词大全里面都整理过，对吧 ？Hardly ever 表否定啊，我基本不用啊。OK， 它否定掉了，这个 oven 又不能填，又是一个干扰项。再继续往下听。
But can you do the fridge?But
can you do the fridge? 你可以打扫这个冰箱吗 ？Fridge， 看一下这个女生怎么说。
Sure.
Sure， 肯定回答吧。OK， 可以填。我们继续往下听。
Would you like that done every week?
Yes, definitely.
Every week， 对吧？每周都打扫吗？他说，确定啊。
And would ironing clothes be an additional service?
Ironing clothes 啊，他说了这个打扫衣服，这个烫衣服啊，熨衣服。继续听，看一下女生怎么说。
Can do.
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course， 可以打扫。
It wouldn't be much.
It wouldn't be much， 不会太多。
Just my shirts for work that week.
Just my shirts.
And would ironing clothes be an additional service you can do?
Yes, of course.
It wouldn't be much. Just my shirts for work that.
Just my shirts for work 啊。 Just my shirts for work. OK， 大家在预读到这边烫衣服的时候啊，只烫什么东西？那这边应该是一个具体衣服的内容，对吧？可能是 shirts、T-shirt 啊，什么等等的啊。我们继续往下听。
Week.
That's fine.
That's fine， 肯定回答啊。
And we could also clean your microwave if you want.
Your microwave 啊，这个这叫什么？微波炉啊。OK，microwave。然后呢，我们来看一下男生怎么说。
No, I wiped that out pretty
No， 否定掉了吧 ？OK， 这个也不能填。我们继续往下听。
regularly, so there's no need for that.
We also offer additional services that you might want a bit less often, say every month.
Every month 定位到吧，继续往下听。每个月打扫什么
So, for example, if the inside of your windows need
？Inside your windows 啊，这边这个单复数说得很清楚，大家再听一下。
cleaning, we also offer additional services that you might want a bit less often, say every month. So, for example, if the inside of your windows need
Inside your windows 啊是复数，继续往下听。
cleaning, we could do that.
Yes, that'd be good. I'm on the 15th floor, so the outside gets done regularly by specialists, but the inside does get a bit grubby.
And we could arrange for your curtains to get cleaned if necessary.
Curtains 对吧？说到了 curtains， 继续往下听，是肯定还是否定的
No, there are
？No 又否定了吧？不能填。我们继续往下听啊，要打扫什么东西 ？Washing down 什么
okay. But would you be able to do something about the balcony?
？Balcony 啊，你可以打扫一下 balcony 吗？阳台对吧？咱们这个必备拼写词里面都有。
It's quite small, and I don't use it much.
很小，不怎么用
It could do with a wash every month or so.
啊。每个月可以这个 wash 一下吗
Yes, we can get the pressure
？Yes 啊，肯定了，所以 balcony 可以填。继续往
washer
下
onto
听。
that. If you're interested, we do offer some other possibilities to do with
Other possibilities 定位到
general maintenance. For example, if you have a problem with water and you need a plumber in a
plumber 是不是定位到了？我们继续往下啊，它这个一起这个并列的还有什么词呢
hurry, we can put you in touch with a reliable one who can come out straight away. And the same thing if you need an
？And the same thing 对吧？开始并列了，说的是什么
electrician. Water and you need a plumber in a hurry, we can put you in touch with a reliable one who can come out straight away. And the same thing if you need an electrician.
？Electricians 啊 ，and the same thing 啊，就是表并列对吧？他说什么 electrician 啊 ，electrician。OK， 这个词可能有的同学会比较陌生啊。首先这个 electricity 啊，electronic 啊等等的这个 elect 打头的都是这个电对吧？电相关的。OK， 在我们想这个后缀啊，什么声啊？有没有想到这个 musician？OK，music 是音乐 ，musician 是什么 ？musician 是音乐家对吧？是做什么的人啊？什么方面的专家啊？那这边这个 electrician 就是电方面的专家，也就指这个电工啊。OK， 就做电搞电的人啊，就电工。OK。
Right, that's
You need a plumber in a hurry, we can put you in touch with a reliable one who can come out straight away. And the same thing if you need an electrician.
And the same thing if you 什么 need a electrician。OK， and the same thing 啊，这边就是比较并列啊。我们继续往下听。
right. That's good to know.
If you need 不就是对应这个 if necessary 啊？如果需要的话。OK， 我们继续往下听。
I've only
对什么东西过敏啊？对什么可能过敏
just moved here, so I don't have any of those sorts of contacts.
And I don't know if this is of interest to you, but we also offer a special vacuum cleaning system
？Special 什么 vacuum cleaning system 啊
which can improve the indoor air quality of your
？Improve your indoor air quality 啊，提升你这个室内的空气质量。
home by capturing up to 99% of all the dust in the air.
99% of all the dust 啊，所有的这个灰尘对吧？你这边实际上你在这个预读到对什么过敏的时候，你就可以有个预判啊。咱们在这个雅思里面最常对东西过敏的不就是花生啊、花粉啊、什么粉尘啊、灰尘对吧？这边 dust 啊，你就有个预判。然后听到他这边说可以打扫这个 dust 的时候，你就要先快速反应过来啊，先写到这儿，然后看一看是不是过敏的事儿。
So if you're troubled by allergies, this can make a big
If you're troubled by allergy 啊，就直接可以填了。OK， 我们继续往下听。
difference.
Right. In fact, I don't have that sort of problem, but I'll bear it in mind. Now, can you tell me a bit about your cleaning staff?
Of course. So all our cleaners are very carefully selected. When they apply to us, they have to undergo a security check with the police.
Security check 是不是可以对应 background check？OK， 安全检测，他说的是 by 什么 ？by the police， 对吧？由警察来做。我们继续往下看啊，每2周会给什么东西？这 cleaner 清扫者。
To make sure they don't have any sort of criminal background. And of course, they have to provide references as well. Then if we think they might be suitable for the job, we give them training for it.
Training for it 啊 ，training。OK， 培训啊，2周的培训。
That lasts for 2 weeks.
It lasts for 2 weeks 啊，2周。
So it's very thorough, and at the end of it, they have a test. If they pass that, we take them on, but we monitor them very carefully. We ask all our clients to
All of our clients 同义替换 customers 吧。我们的客户要干什么？要发送什么东西
complete a review of their performance.
A review 对吧？一个这种啊，就是回顾回访啊，这就是评价啊。
After every visit and to email it to us, so we can pick up any
OK， 这就是这篇 Part 1啊。OK， 我们来一起看一下这个剑17 Test4 的第2篇啊 Part 2。OK， 首先一起来预读一下，是这个选择加匹配啊。OK， 我们来预读一下。很多这个酒店经理啊，没有意识到他们的这个员工离职是因为什么啊？就说他们离职的原因啊是什么？第一个说是缺乏培训，第二个说的是工作太久，第三个说的是工资太低啊。OK， 什么 high 什么 OK， 那这个就是说这个叫什么呀？员工离职啊，对这个经理啊有什么影响啊？第一个说的是工作量增加，第二个说的是这个气势降低，第三个说的是达不成这个目标啊。What the mistakes OK， 这个经理应该避免什么错误？第一个说的是不公平，第二个说的是这个 shifting without warning 啊，没有那个叫什么呀？警告就 shifting 啊，就是叫 shift 啊，什么换岗之类的吧。然后这边说的是忽略了有足够的员工啊，就是说在太忙的时候忽略了有足够的员工啊。第4个说的是这个意想不到的好处啊，这个 hotel OK 在这个提升这个员工留职率之后呢，有一个意想不到的好处。第一个说的是这个抱怨的下降啊，抱怨下降，员工的这个不是就是顾客投诉下降啊。第二个说的是什么什么 club 的成员增长。第三个说的是 spending per customer 啊，每个顾客花费的钱增长了，就是客单价啊，客单花的钱这个增长了。OK， 我们来一起听一下这个选择啊，匹配一会儿再预读。
Many of you here today have worked in the hotel industry for some time. I'm sure you have experienced the problem of high staff turnover in your hotels.
High staff turnover 啊 ，turnover 不就是周转率嘛，转化就是什么转化率之类的啊，这边就是指这个员工的流失率啊，流失率。
Every hotel relies on having loyal and experienced members of staff who make sure that everything runs smoothly. If staff are constantly changing, it can make life difficult for everyone.
OK， 留职太快的话，一直流失的话，一直有人离职的话，日子不好过啊。
But why do staff leave frequently?
Why 是不是要开始说原因了啊？注意一点，我们这边要听的是经理没有意识到的原因啊。
In many hotels. Of course, many hotel jobs, such as cleaning, are low-skilled and are not well paid.
OK, low-skilled 啊，可以对应这个 A 吧，就是说这个就是技术含量很低啊。另外这个工资很低啊。我们来听一下是不是经理知道的。
A lot of managers think it's this, and the long hours that are.
第一个说的是这个low skill 啊，就是说这个叫什么呀？技术含量很低啊。这边说的是没有培训啊，没有提到培训。OK， 他说这个 low 工资很低，而技术含量很低。
The main causes of high staff turn are low-skilled and are not well paid. A lot of managers think it's this, and
think it's this 啊。OK， 很多经理认为原因是这个，是这两个。 OK， 我们听一下是不是呢
Long hours that are the main causes of high staff turnover. But what they don't realize.
But they don't realize 啊 ，don't realize 是不是对应了 unaware？Don't realize 对应了这个 unaware 啊，就说没有这个意识到，没意识到是什么呢
Is that it's the lack of training.
？Lack of training 原词出现吧，直接选 A 啊。OK， 第一题就做完了，我们去
In many hotel jobs, which is a huge factor. So, what kind of problems does a high turnover of staff cause? Well, having to recruit new staff all the time can be very time-consuming. And managers
出现了吧？我们要听一下对经理有什么影响啊
they have to cover some duties while waiting for new staff to arrive.
OK，while waiting for the new staff to arrive 啊，等这个新员工来的时候，因为老员工离职了嘛，等新员工来的时候，他必须要 cover the duties of the staff 啊，就是说经理一定要做这个员工要做的事儿啊。
This means they don't have time to think about less immediate problem.
OK，they don't have time 啊，他们太忙了，没时间啊。我们看一下这边选项，第一个说的是这个工作量增加，刚不是说了吗？他要做这个员工做的事儿啊，所以说他的工作量增加了，没有说气势的事儿吧，没说有没有能不能完成目标啊，所以这道题可以直接选 A。
Such as how to improve their service. When staff leave, it can also severely affect the colleagues they leave behind. It has a negative effect on remaining staff, who may start to feel that they too should be thinking about leaving. So what can be done to change this situation?
怎么改变呢
Firstly, managers should stop making basic errors which leave their staff feeling upset and resentful.
OK，error leave the staff feeling upset 啊，就是说不要让这个员工觉得很 upset 啊，非常的沮丧啊，不要做这种事儿。
When organizing shifts, for example, make sure you never give certain staff preferential treatment.
OK，never give certain staff a preferential treatment 啊，不要给这个 certain staff， 不要给这个具体的就是说一些员工啊 staff 这个 preferential。OK，preferential treatment 啊，不要给这些员工这种优待，对吧？就是说不要优待别人。我们刚预读时候不是这边有吗？不公平，对吧？你优待别人不就不公平吗？啊，要避免这一点。
All staff should be given some choice about when they work, and everyone should have to work some evening and weekend shifts. If you treat staff fairly,
OK，if you treat staff fairly 啊 ，fairly 是不是可以统一替换这个 equally， 就是一定要公平啊。
they'll be more likely to step in and help when extra staff are needed.
OK， 他们就会要这个帮助啊，就会帮忙。OK， 这边说的就是要这个公平对待啊，不能就是说区别对待。这道题选的也是 A。我们继续往下听啊，有什么 unexpected benefit 啊，一定是意想不到的这个好处。
Keeping staff happy has other tangible benefits for the business.
OK，benefit 开始说了。
Take the Dunwich Hotel as an example. It had been experiencing a problem with staff complaints, and in order to deal with this,
OK， 它有这个client complaints 啊，就是说这个顾客投诉率很高啊。为了解决这个问题，它是怎么做的呢
？Invested in staff training and
invested in 这个 staff training 啊，员工培训。
Improved staff conditions. Not only did the level of complaints fall, but they also
not only 这个解决了这个 complaint 对吧 ？OK， 所以说这是他们意料之中的。他们为了解决这个事情的一个目的，就是降低这个叫什么顾客投诉率啊。
A significant increase in the amount each customer spent.
The amount 啊，金额吧 ，each customer spent。Each customer spent 什么意思啊？这个金额什么金额呢？每个这个顾客花的金额，那不就是 spending per customer 吗？啊，就是每个顾客花的钱也上涨了啊，就选 C。
During their stay, they have now introduced a customer loyalty scheme, which is going really well.
OK， 他们是为了降低这个这个叫什么顾客投诉率，对吧？那他们做了这些什么培训，然后提升了这个员工的这个condition 条件之后呢， 啊，发现这个不仅这个顾客的投诉率这个降低了，同时啊，这个客单价也上升了啊，就是每个这个顾客这个花的钱啊也增长了。OK， 这就是这个选择题啊。我们继续看这个匹配啊。我们先来预读一下啊。这边这个原词我们就不用管了啊。我们看一下 ways of reducing。OK， 就说用来这个降低这个员工离职率的方法啊有哪些？第一个说的是提升这个关系和团队建设。第二个说的是这个激励和这种财政方面的一些好处啊，就是金钱方面的好处。你在这画个钱，没问题吧 ？OK， 和钱相关的，比如发奖金。啊，怎么样的就都是送东西啊，年终奖等等，这些就是这个经济相关的啊，钱相关的。最后一个说的是 career opportunity 啊，说的是职业发展啊，职业机遇。OK， 就是说对他这个职业有帮助的，比如培训啊，比如轮岗啊，比如说啊等等的一些啊之类的东西。OK， 然后我们就归好这3类吧。一类就是这个团队啊，员工的关系啊，团队啊之类的。第二类就是这个金钱激励之类的，第3个就是职业发展啊。OK， 我们来听一下这每一个都应该分到哪一类。基础薄弱的同学可以看着这个在听的过程中啊，可以看原文跟读啊。基础好的同学最好是可以直接听。
And answer questions 15 to 20.
Now, I'd like to look at some ways you can reduce staff turnover in your hotels. And I'll do this by giving some examples of hotels where I've done some training recently. The Sun Club received feedback which showed that staff thought managers didn't value their opinions.
Managers didn't value their opinions. 员工不重这个 manager 啊，经理不重视我。
They weren't made to feel they were partners who were contributing.
They won't make them feel they were partner 啊，不让他们觉得。就是说，经理不重视员工，让员工觉得他们并不是他们的这个伙伴啊。
The success of the business as a whole. This situation has changed.
OK， 这个 situation changed 改变了，发生改变了。然后呢
？Junior staff at all levels are regularly invited to meetings where their ideas are welcomed.
OK， 经常被 invited to meetings 啊，让他们也来参与到会议，并且他们的 ideas 啊 welcomed， 他们的这个观点都是被欢迎的。OK， 这里面这3个大家看哪个更合适 ？OK， 是不是说了什么 partner 啊，然后让他们来参加这个 meeting 啊 ，value 他们的 idea 啊 ，welcome 他们的 idea 啊，是不是都是跟这个员工的关系啊？OK， 可以归到这个 A 类啊，没有涉及金钱相关，没有涉及这个职业发展，对吧？未来的规划发展之类的，所以这个不用管。我们继续看第16题。
A year ago, the Portland recognized the need to invest in staff retention. Their first step was to introduce a scheme for recognizing talent amongst their employees. The hope is that organizing training for individuals with management potential will encourage them to.
OK， 他是不是说到什么 recognize their talent 啊？要发现他们的这个叫什么才华？然后他们后面还提到他们有一个 management program 啊，他们有一个这种一个管理的计划啊，要让他们干什么呢
？Stay with the business.
OK， 让他们 stay with the business. OK， 识别他们的这个才华，然后给他们搞成专门的项目培训项目啊，适合哪一类呢？最适合是不是这个职业发展职业机遇啊 ？OK， 所以这要选的是 C。我们继续往下看。
At Blue Water, managers decided to recognize 50 high achievers from across the company's huge hotel chain. As a reward,
啊，作为奖励，我们这时候就要敏感一点，是不是这种激励、奖励、金钱方面的补贴之类的啊？我们做好准备。
They're sent on an all-expenses-paid trip abroad every.
什么 paid trip abroad 啊？就是说这种旅行，对吧？给他们这种旅行，这是一个激励吧 ？OK， 所以这要选的是 B 啊，直接。你听到一个 trip 啊，对吧？就类似这种年会啊、旅行啊这种啊、团建啊之类的。OK。
Yeah. Fun is an important element in the trips, but there's also the opportunity to learn something useful. This year's trip included a visit to a brewery.
OK， 就是 trip 啊。
Where staff learned about the new beer that would be served in the hotel. Pentlow Hotels identified that retention of junior reception staff was an issue. in order to encourage them to see that working in a hotel could be worthwhile and rewarding with good prospects.
Good prospects 啊 ，prospects 这个词实际上就是可以和这个career opportunities 同义替换啊，这种前景、未来的发展的前景，在很多这种外企的这种招聘啊这种启事里面都会写 prospect 相关的内容。OK， 我们继续看后面是怎么说的。
They introduced a management program.
又是这个 management program 啊。OK， 专门的这种计划啊。OK， 就是说让他职业发展相关的吧，这道题也直接选 C 啊。再往下听。
These staff were given additional responsibilities and the chance to work in various roles in the hotel. Green Planet wanted to be seen as a caring employer. To make life easier for staff, many of whom had childcare responsibilities.
Child 就是说非常多的员工都有这个 childcare responsibilities 啊，就是要照顾孩子啊。那他们是怎么做呢
The hotel began issuing vouchers.
Vouchers 啊，这种礼金券啊，什么相关的呢
To help cover the cost of childcare.
To help cover the cost 啊，这是金钱相关的，这个 cover 他们的这方面的一个花销成本是金钱相关的，那可以直接选 B 吧。OK， 我们继续听最后一个啊。
Louise Marsh at the Amesbury has one of the best staff retention rates in the business. Since she joined the company, she's made a huge effort to achieve this by creating a cooperative and supportive environment. Retention rates in the business. Since she joined the company, she's made a huge effort to achieve this by creating a cooperative and supportive environment. For her, the staff are part of a large family where everyone is valued.
OK， 现在员工变成了 large family， 对吧 ？Family 员工像这个家庭一样，家人一样，那是不是讲他们的这个关系啊 ？OK， 那这个合作啊，互相支持，是不是指这个团队建设呀？那完全对应 A 啊，这边直接选就可以了。OK， 这个匹配题就是题干是原词啊，定位。然后选项都是各类的同义替换改写啊，大家要多积累。OK， 这就是这篇 Part 2。OK， 我们来看剑17 Test4 的 Part 3啊。我们先一起预读一下啊，2道多选，然后是匹配题啊。预读一下多选，说 T 和 J 啊，他对于这个 T 的这个 sporting activity at school 是发表什么看法啊？就是他应该觉得更积极啊，太难了。应该 work harder at them 啊，就说应该更努力啊。而说父母很失望，而说同学很敬佩他啊。然后这边说的是这个 Kenya 啊，非常好定位，看一下他的感受是什么。OK，disbelieve 啊，不敢相信啊，不相信。Relief 啊，如释重负。Stress 压力。Gratitude 啊，这个非常的感激啊，感恩。OK， 然后 homesick 啊，想家。OK， 我们先来看一下这2道多选题哈。
The 24.
Hi, Thomas.
基础薄弱的同学可以看着这边的这个文稿哈，听的时候，当然你最好能听懂，最好是精听的时候可以先直接盲听啊。如果实在听不懂的话，可以看着文稿一句一句精听跟读。
Are you enjoying the course so far?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Remind me, why did you decide to study sports science? Didn't you want to be a professional athlete when you were at school?
Yeah, that was my goal, and all my classmates assumed I would achieve it. They thought I was brilliant.
OK, all my classmates. OK， 我们一听到 classmates， 是不是快速的想到前面这个 fellow 同事吧？同学吧？students 啊 ，fellow students 同学，同义替换的 classmates 吧 ？OK， 说的是什么 ？They all think I'm brilliant 啊，觉得我很了不起，很伟大，是不是可以对应这边的这个 admire？ OK， 这边可以选 E， 然后我们继续往下听。
Must have been a nice feeling.
I thought I could win anything. There was no one who could run faster than me.
OK， 非常的自信啊，这边非常很 positive， 但是并没有说他应该更加的这个 positive 啊。
Exactly. So what happened? Did your mum and dad want you to be more academic?
Mum and dad 是不是可以定位到这个 parents？ 我们看一下 parents 是不是失望啊
Not at all. Perhaps they should have pushed me harder, though.
What do you mean?
并没说什么这个失望的事啊。我们继续往下听。
I think I should have practiced more.
I think I should have practiced more 啊。我觉得我应该更努力。前面这边不是有一个地方说他应该 work harder 吗？他应该更努力，是不是可以对应这个 practice more 啊 ？OK， 我应该 practice more 啊，可以对应到。所以这道题选的是 C 和 E。What
makes you say that?
Well, I went out to Kenya for a couple of weeks.
Kenya 定位到了吧？我们开始看他的想法啊，是不敢相信的啊，是这个如释重负，压力很大，感激还是想家啊
To train.
Really? I didn't know that.
I was chosen to go there out of loads of kids and run with some of the top teenage athletes in the world. And I was so calm about it. I just kept thinking how fortunate I was.
How fortunate I was 啊，我有多幸运啊 ，fortune。How fortunate I was.
What a great chance this was.
OK, what a great chance this was 啊 ，great chance 很好的机会啊，就是说，我觉得我非常幸运，我觉得这个是很好的机会，是不是可以对应这边的非常的感激啊 ？OK， D 先选上，我们继续往下听。
Everyone back home was so proud of me. But once we started competing, I very quickly realized I wasn't good enough.
OK， 开始比赛后又觉得自己不够了不起啊，就不够那么好，不够好啊，觉得自己不够好。OK， 没有对应的吧？不相信，压力，压力有一点啊，但是我们再来听一下这句话，他说什么啊
？What a great chance this was! Everyone back home was so proud of me. But once we started competing, I very quickly realized I wasn't good enough.
因为他只是觉得自己不够好啊，并没有说外界给他什么压力。我们继续往下听。
That must have been a huge shock.
OK， 很大的一个震惊啊。
Thought this can't be happening.
This can't be happening 啊 ，This can't be happening， 不可能啊，这不可能，不敢相信，是对应了咱们预读的这个 disbelief 啊，所以 A 可以对应啊。
I was used to winning.
I'm sorry to hear that.
啊，我本来是想赢的。
It's okay. I'm over it now, and I think it's much better to do a university course. And this one.
OK， 他最后还是选了这个 university course 啊。OK， 没有说如释重负吧，没有说这个想家啊，就这个 stress 有一点这个干扰啊，就是压力，但这边并没有说谁给他压力啊，来自外界的压力，只是他自己觉得 OK， 我就是不够好啊。OK， 这就是这两道多选题啊，所以这道题选的是 A 和 D 啊，第一个选的就是 D， 这就是这两道多选题。我们再来预读一下这边的这个匹配题啊，匹配题题干都是原词，我们来看这个这个匹配的这边内容啊，可能是容易突然改写。第一个说它会有这个过量的汗，对吧？出汗啊 ，sweating 出汗。第二个说这个材料啊曾经被大量生产 for another purpose 啊，用于其他的目的啊，大量生产。第三个说 make their own 啊，自己做。第四个说 had to be replaced 啊，一定要更换。often 啊，经常要更换。Materials expensive 啊，很贵。Unpopular among spectators 啊，对于这种就是参观者、旁观者啊是不喜欢的啊，就是说这些参观者并不喜欢啊 ，get injuries, cause injuries 啊，受伤 injuries 啊，受伤。OK， 然后最后一个说是 no one using it like it，OK， 就说使用的人都不OK 都不喜欢啊 ，no one like 嘛，就说起初这些使用的人都不喜欢啊。这边我们看啊，有两个很像的。一个是 unpopular 对吧，不受欢迎，这边有一个不喜欢，很像对吧？但是我们要注意这边的主体，一个说是使用它的人，另外一个说的什么旁观的人啊，我们都是听的时候注意区别一下。然后材质方面，这边有两个说到材质对吧，一个说很贵，一个说是被大量生产其他目的啊，我们来听一下这边。
So, Jian, have you thought of any ideas for the discussion session next week on technology and sport?
We have to cover more than one sport, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, we always think technology is about the future, but we could gather some ideas about past developments in sport.
Look at early types of equipment, perhaps. I remember reading something about table tennis bats once.
Table tennis bat。定位到了，我们准备来听啊。
How they ended up being covered with pimpled rubber,
because they were just wood.
OK， 什么 ended up covered with pimple rubber 啊，是由这个 rubber 来就是说外面覆盖着这个 rubber 啊，橡胶。
At first, I'd imagine.
Yeah. In about the 1920s, a factory was making rolls of the rubber in bulk for something like horse harnesses.
OK， 一个 factory 啊，用生产这个 rubber 干嘛啊？我们前面是不是说到一个地方有一个 mass produce 啊，大量生产，是不是可以对应 factory？ 工厂不就是用来大量生产东西的地方吗？然后这个 material 指的就是这边的这个 rubber， 对吧 ？OK， 然后用来干嘛啊？完全可以对应。第一题选上 B。
Really?
Yeah, and someone realised that it would make a perfect covering for the wooden bats.
So, what about cricket? That's had a few innovative
Cricket 啊，定位到。
changes. Maybe the pads they wear on their legs?
I don't think they've changed much, but I'm just looking on the internet. And it says that when the first cricket helmet came in 1978, the Australian batsman who first wore it was booed and jeered by people
什么 booed and jeered by people 是吗
watching because it was
？People watching， 哎，这边要快速反应过来。People watching 正在看的人，是不是可以对应这边的这个旁观者 ？People watching。OK， 快速反应过来啊。
so ugly.
Because it's so ugly 啊，太丑了，因为太丑了，所以不喜欢，不受欢迎啊，可以对应到，所以这边选的是这个 F。我们继续往下听。
Wow! Players have to protect themselves from getting hurt. I mean, everyone wears one now.
Unlike the cycle helmet.
Well,
Cycle helmet 定位到啊。
unless you're a professional. But you're right, many ordinary bikers don't wear a helmet.
OK， 很多普通人啊并不戴这个 helmet 啊。OK， 也就是说可以对应着不受欢迎，对吧？但是我们要看这边说什么，这边是不受欢迎，说 spectator， 对吧？是我们刚刚说这个旁观者啊，这边并没有说旁观者，而说是使用者，所以这个不能选，也没有说是起初啊，所以我们还不能选。继续往下听。
Hey, look at these pictures of original helmet designs. This one looks like an upside-down bowl.
Yeah.
OK， 再说这 helmet design 啊，设计方面是头盔的设计方面。
The woman's laughing. She's so proud to be wearing it.
他觉得戴上很好啊，他们在讨论别的东西，让我们继续听。
It says serious cyclists ended up with wet hair from all the...
Wet hair， 快速反应吧。Wet hair 什么意思？头发湿了啊，就说戴完头盔之后头发都湿了，是不是对应这个出汗？OK，A5 快速反应过来，可以选到这里。我们继续往下听。
hard exercise.
I guess that's why they have large air vents in them now, so that the skin can breathe more easily.
什么 skin can breathe more easily 啊，他们的这个皮肤可以更好的呼吸啊。我们继续往下听。
Okay, so we've done helmets. What about golf balls?
Golf balls 啊 ，golf。
Or better still, golf clubs. They've changed a lot.
Yeah. I remember my great-grandfather telling me that because a club was made entirely of wood,
是由这个木头做成的啊，made of wood.
It would easily break and players had to get another.
Okay, it's very easily break 啊，非常容易就坏掉了。这个 players had to get another 啊，就说这个玩家啊，就说参与进来的人就必须要更换新的啊，就说非常容易坏，并且要 get another。我们前面不是有一个 replace 嘛，在这边啊 ，replace 更换 ，get another 换一个啊，很容易坏，一定要更换啊，对应了这个经常的更换，所以选的是 D。
There's no wood at all in them now, is there?
No, they're much more powerful.
The same must be true of hockey sticks.
Hockey sticks 啊，定位到。
I don't think so, because players still use wooden sticks today. What it does say here, though, is that when the game started, you had to produce a stick yourself.
You need to produce 这个 stick yourself 啊 ，produce yourself 啊，自己生产。那比如自己制作嘛，我们刚刚预读是不是有一个要自己做 ？OK，make their own 对吧？同义替换这个 produce yourself 啊 ，one's own。所以这边选的是 C 啊，继续往下听。
Guess they just weren't being manufactured. So, one more perhaps? What about football?
Well, I know the first balls were made of animal skin.
Yeah.
OK， 最早是动物皮造成制作的啊。我们来看这剩下的2个选项啊，3个选项， 哎，是3个选项啊。起初是动物皮制作的啊。OK， 讲到材料了吧？会不会讲昂贵？我们继续往下听。
Covered them with pieces of leather that were stitched together.
Leather 啊，皮革。
But the balls let in water when it rained.
Oh, that would have made them much heavier.
That's right.
很重啊，这个 football 最初。
You can imagine the damage to players' necks when the
damage the player's neck 破坏对吧 ？damage 这个 players 这个玩家的颈部 ，OK， 破坏什么颈部，是不是可以对应我们前面预读的这个受伤呀 ？OK， 所以这边选的是 G。
Ball was headed.
Oh, how painful that must have been.
How painful 啊，多疼呀，受伤对吧？多疼啊。
Yeah. Well.I think we can put together some useful ideas.
OK， 这就是这篇这个 Part 3啊，这个匹配还是比较难的啊，这个改写大家一定要积累好。OK， 我们来看一下这个键17最后一个 Part 4啊，我先一起来预读一下啊。OK 啊，它这个是第一次见 Part 4是这样排，这个叫什么呀？布局的啊，编排的哈，分为了2列。OK， 我们来看一下啊，首先这边要注意一下啊，因为你在这个 Part 4啊这种纸质的时候，它出现这种情况是很少的啊，你不知道它到底是这样来出题还是横向来出题啊。大家要注意，在这个听力机考当中啊，都是这样横向出题的。OK， 先考完这个12题，然后再考13题、14、15这个顺序啊。OK， 大家注意一下这个顺序。我们来一起预读一下。第一题是让我们填它的颜色啊，大家听到颜色填过来就可以了。非常怎么样啊？相比于糖啊 ，OK， 这边说 maple syrup 啊，这个 syrup 就是这种糖浆啊，什么什么糖浆 ，OK， 我们就看它和这个普通的糖相比会更怎么样。然后这边看啊，很好的生长条件，并且啊，在这个加拿大和北美啊，什么东西怎么样啊？我们到时候来定位。很好的生长环境，还有很好的什么东西啊？然后34题说 used hot 什么 to heat the soap 啊，用很热的什么东西啊来这个加热啊 ，OK。然后再看35题说 may not have the correct 什么啊，直到长了40年 ，OK， 就是说长了40年之后才会有这个正确的什么东西啊。36说要A tap is 这个 drilled into the trunk 啊，钻到这个 trunk 里，然后呢，什么东西放进来啊 ？into the bucket 啊。OK， 下面说啊，这个什么这个东西啊，这专有名词应该比较好听到，对吧？说 heated 啊，加热 by 通过，对吧？通过什么加热啊？我们来听，通过什么方式来加热 ？A lot of 什么大量的什么东西 is produced 啊。在这过程中，大量的什么东西被生产出来？这边有一个专有名词 ，make 什么 ？OK， 它一定要被取掉，因为它会让这个 syrup 看起来怎么样，并且也会影响口感啊。来看，等会儿定位，看让它看起来会怎么样。然后说大量的什么 soap 啊，需要来生产怎么样的这个 maple syrup 啊。OK， 我们阅读完了，来一起听一下。
Hello, everyone.Today, we're going to look at another natural food product, and that's maple syrup. What is this exactly? Well, maple syrup looks rather like clear honey, but it's not made by bees.
OK， 看起来很像这个honey 啊，蜂蜜，但是不是蜜蜂采集的啊。
It's produced from the plant fluid, or sap, inside the maple tree, and that makes maple syrup.A very natural product. Maple syrup is a thick, golden, sweet.
Golden 听到了颜色对吧？咱们预读了说要写它的颜色 ，golden 啊，金黄色的直接写。OK， 那看它是这样横向出题的啊，跟机考一样。我们来听。
Tasting liquid that can be bought in bottles or jars and poured onto foods such as waffles and ice cream, or used in the baking of cakes and pastries.It contains no preservatives or added ingredients, and it provides a healthy alternative to refined sugar.
Okay, healthy alternative to refined sugar 啊，和 sugar 比起来是怎么样的 ？Healthy 啊，是一个更健康的替代品啊。
Let's
let's just talk a bit about the maple tree itself, which is where maple syrup comes from. So, there are many species of maple tree, and they'll grow without fertilizer in areas where there's plenty of moisture in the soil.
Without 和这个 doesn't 统一替换吧。OK 啊。
However, they'll only do this if another important criterion is fulfilled, which is that they must have full or partial sun exposure during the day and very cool nights. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. There are only certain parts of the world that provide all these conditions. One is Canada. And by that, I mean all parts of Canada. And the other is the northeastern states of North America. In these areas, the climate suits the trees.
Climate 啊，在这些 area， 在这些地方 ，climate suit the tree
perfectly.
Perfectly 啊，就说这个气候非常的适宜这些树生长。
In fact, Canada produces over 2/3 of the world's maple syrup, which is why the 5-pointed maple leaf is a Canadian symbol and has featured on the flag since 1964. So, how did maple syrup production begin? Well, long before Europeans settled in these parts of the world, the indigenous communities had started producing maple sugar. They bored holes in the trunks of maple trees and used containers made of tree bark to collect the liquid sap as it poured out. As they were unable to keep the liquid for any length of time, they didn't have storage facilities in those days. They boiled the liquid by placing pieces of rock that had become...
OK 啊 ，they boiled 统一替换吧 ，boiled 和 hot 啊，很烫很热，什么呀？怎么弄呢 ？By placing a rock 啊，通过放置一个这个石头啊，来加热石头啊。
Scorching hot from the sun into the sap. They did this until it turned into sugar, and they were then able to use this to sweeten their food and drinks. Since that time, improvements have been made to the process, but it has changed very little overall. So, let's look at the production of maple syrup today. Clearly, the maple forests are a valuable resource in many Canadian and North American communities. The trees have to be well looked after, and they cannot be...
OK, cannot 出现了否定啊，我们继续听不能有什么准确的什么东西啊，直到40年后啊。
Used to make syrup until the trunks reach a diameter of a...
Reach a diameter 啊 ，reach a diameter。OK， 这个词什么意思啊？大家学数学，小学学数学的时候，画过圆之后啊，这边这个直径啊，都会写一个 d 啊 ，d 就是 diameter 的一个简写啊，就直径的意思。就说这个数啊，它不达到一个，它就说它只有通过40年才能够达到一个，就说一个准确的一个 diameter 啊，直径。
Around 25 centimeters. This can take anything up to 40 years. As I've already mentioned, maple trees need the right conditions to grow and also to produce sap. Why is this? Well, what happens is that during a cold night, the tree absorbs water from the soil, and that rises through the tree's vascular system. But then, in the warmer daytime, the change in temperature causes the water to be pushed back down to the bottom of the tree. This continual movement, up and down, leads to the formation of the sap needed for maple syrup production. When the tree is ready, it can be tapped, and this involves drilling a small hole into the trunk and
OK， 在 trunk 上面 drill 一个小 hole 啊，就说钻一个小孔，然后要怎么样呢
？Inserting a tube into it.
Inserting a tube 啊，放一个小管子 into it 啊，在里面放置一个小管子。
That ends in a bucket. The trees can often take several taps, though the workers take care not to cause any damage to the healthy growth of the tree itself.
The sap that comes out of the trees consists of 98% water and 2% sugar and other nutrients. It has to be boiled so that much of that water evaporates. And this process has to take place immediately using what are called evaporators.
OK， 这儿这个专有名词也 evaporated 啊，我们刚才说到了，定位到，然后来看是被什么东西来加热，用什么方法来加热啊
These are basically extremely large pans. The sap is poured into these. A fire is built, and the pans are then heated until
OK，fire is built 啊，搭好火，生好火，然后来 heated 啊，来加热它，所以是通过火来加热的。我们继续往下听，大量的什么啊被生产
the sap boils. As it does this, the water evaporates and the syrup begins to form. The evaporation process creates large quantities of steam.
OK，large quantities 啊 ，large quantities 大量对吧？同义替换了这个 a lot of， 大量什么呢 ？steam 啊，水蒸气。继续往下听。
And the sap becomes thicker and denser, and at just the right moment, when the sap is thick enough to be called maple syrup, the worker removes it from the heat. After this process, something called sugar sand has to be filtered out.
Sugar sand 这个引号里面专有名词出现了，帮你定位。
This builds up during the boiling and gives the syrup a cloudy appearance.
Cloudy appearance 外观吧，让它看起来怎么样，不就是外观怎么样吗？他说什么呀 ？Cloudy 啊。
Slightly gritty taste. Once this has been done, the syrup is ready to be packaged so that it can be used for a whole variety of products. It takes 40 liters of
OK， 这边是具体的40 liters 啊，40升对应这个大量的对吧
sap to produce
？sap 啊。
1 liter of maple syrup.
OK，make 和 produce 同义替换吧。他说这边是怎样 ？1 和 a 对应 1 liter of maple syrup 啊，这个 liter 大家写英式的、美式的都可以。OK。
So you can get an idea of how much is needed.
OK， 这就是这篇这个 Part 4啊，这边的这个 diameter 这个词会比较生僻啊，很多同学可能不知道，它就是这个直径 d 的意思。OK， 这个一定做完之后坚持这个精听跟读哈。